Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day today. I'm putting on a little background music so we have something to listen to. I figured since we finished season 1 of Doctor Who, I figured that I would go through and rank the episodes, briefly review the season, briefly go through it all, just as kind of a roundup and tying a nice, neat bow on our watching of the season. I've really enjoyed it. I hope that you guys did as well. It seems like a lot of you have, and I really appreciate you all watching alongside with me and discovering the show. Perhaps, I mean, for you rediscovering, but rediscovering it alongside with me. So yeah, let's go ahead and rank the episodes here. Let me get you guys on the screen here. Oh, you're already on the screen. So, okay. So the way that this one works, I figured instead of doing just a straight, best to worst, we could kind of grade each of the episodes. They were out of order down here, so I had to reorder them properly. And so let's just start from the top. The beginning, Rose. The introduction to everything, and not only for myself, but for a lot of new watchers as well, this was the episode to introduce us to the world of Doctor Who. And, for old Doctor Who watchers, this was a reintroduction into the world. And I think that this was a perfect introduction to the season, to the new Doctor Who, to Chris, to Billy, to the rest of the cast, and the world. I think that this was a really good episode to start everything off with the conspiracy theories happening and, the mannequins being the, the sci-fi monster of the week, so to speak. And I think that was all really well done. And it was a nice way to get our feet wet with the episode and with the Doctor and kind of start us off, I think it immediately showed its promise and its charm. And for right now, we'll move these as we go. For right now, I'm putting Rose on good. We might change this as we go. Matter of fact, I know I'm going to change this as we go. But we're going to talk our way through it. The next episode, The End of the World. This was, of course, that second episode, the first adventure. Really, this was that first out of the world adventure and way out of the world as we went, well, to the end of the world. And we're watching the ending of the world happen there. I like the introduction to the different characters, the aliens especially. The production and the makeup and the costuming was very, very well done. And it reminded me of Farscape a little bit, like into that realm of things, but I really enjoyed it. Cassandra, the villain of the week there, was really cool. Just a big stretched out face of skin. The last human, which brought up a lot of questions. What does it mean to be human? Because clearly she did not look like it. He had the little alien robot spider things going around everywhere. That was just a really nice way to kind of raise the stakes immediately. From the beginning of Rose going into the end of the world. I mean, that's a big stake change. And I think that this was a cool episode as well. For right now, I'm putting it in good. Once again, we'll change these as we go. Unquiet Dead. I don't know how a lot of people feel about this kind of episode, but I love anything that deals with a sort of period piece, a historic era, of course, in times past. And so Unquiet Dead, the actual place, the setting, immediately grabs my attention. And because it's kind of a mystery, ghost-esque story, that also grabs my attention. And so I love the mystery that was behind this one. And as we were watching, like when we got to this episode, out of the 3, Unquiet Dead was actually my favorite episode out of these first 3. I really love that. I love you have Charles Dickens involved in here, and it was like a funny episode with him, the gas and the aliens revealing themselves at the end. Like, it was just really cool how that was all done. And I think that this was actually a really fantastically acted episode. I love the charm of it all. I like the little twist at the end with the villain. I put Unquiet Dead in great. I would absolutely put that in great. I think that's a great way to start. And I love the opening mystery, as the bodies rise back from the dead. I think that was really cool. Aliens of London. We have the Slitheen introduced here. Before we even dive into it, I think the costuming, the actual design of the aliens, the Slitheen, is actually really cool because like they're right in that uncanny valley. On one hand, the big eyes, the big head, the kind of gloopy head shape, it looks kind of cute. But then there's the other part that's like, the claws and everything, and it's kind of creepy. So they're right in that perfect uncanny valley, which they nicely occupy. This one, of course, with the skin suits and the gas. I mean, there are repeated fart jokes in here quite a bit. there's quite a few of those in here. But Doctor Who is for everybody. And you know what? You know who loves fart jokes? Kids. And sometimes me. But, we get introduced to some cool characters in here. Margaret and the Prime Minister mystery. I'm trying to remember all the details. I remember like little of everything, but I think that this was a decent episode. I think that this was a decent episode, and I like the ending. The cliffhanger with the Doctor. Like even the decent episodes are still fun to watch. It's still very fun to watch. World War III, the second part of the Slitheen era. In this particular case, I love Harriet Jones popping in here, and she was just a cool character arc for her. From beginning, just trying to get attention until the end, becoming the prime minister, basically. Right? Did she basically prime minister? She got her come up, so to speak. And I like how this involved Mickey. This involved more of the cast involved here, and I think it's a nice way of wrapping up this particular high stakes, slightly silly, adventurous story. I put World War III right in front of Aliens in London. I think it's a good finish to that two-parter. Dalek, you know where it's going. Do I even need to discuss that one in depth? Dalek is just a perfect 44-minute episode. The stakes are somehow lowered and more contained, and yet just as dangerous and high octane. I've always heard of the Daleks, and now actually getting to see one in action was just awesome. Just tearing through that facility. That was great. And the main character guy, the rich guy who brought this all onto himself, I actually really like his little back and forths with the Doctor. I thought that was like a kind of underrated pairing, so to speak. But man, the Dalek just tore through everything. And for me, the reveal that the Dalek is not a robot, but that's just its armor. That's just its battle suit. And of course, this will be a hint of many things to come. This was a good episode. That was a Monster of the Week episode. But man, that monster makes an impact. A huge impact on this one. And then, of course, you have the now moral conundrum of, the Doctor being, in a sense, related and not related, but comparing himself to the Dalek, or the Dalek comparing himself to the Doctor, that made for some great writing in there. Rose, the human touch, messing up and sullying this particular Dalek. This was a really great episode. Really fantastic. Great action, great adventure, high stakes in a localized kind of area. This was a great episode and just fantastic watch. The Long Game. We go to a TV station in space in the future. I think that this was a good episode. I don't know why I almost said Sean Bean. You have I've forgotten his name. I can see his face. Why can I see his face? Not Nick Frost. Nick Frost is the other guy. I'm forgetting his name now. I said his name when we were watching the episode, but now it's escaping me. Whatever. It's once again a nice standalone episode here. You have the big alien that looks like those things in Half-Life 2, controlling everything. You get the conspiracy once again in here. This was a fun episode. Floor 500. What's up there? I think this was a good one. Let's see. I'll put this one for now. Here. We're going to switch that for now. Father's Day. This is the emotional one. Can't speak for you. I put it in the best. Perhaps it's because, I can't help but relate to it. And I'm sure many, many others relate to it. But the whole unraveling of Rose's father dying, her going back in time to stop it, how time travel works and the timelines, the car going back and forth in the background throughout the episode, foreshadowing in a perfect way the solving of the problem later on, the emotional payoff. God. Rose just wanting to be there. And even within such an emotional episode, you still have the creature of the week, the creature feature in here. You still have that featured. And while they do, these bat-like things, while they do make an impact in the story, they really are just a device to add a little bit more tension to this already emotional, intense episode. And I think that this was a phenomenal, emotional episode. I think that it was great. It's one of the best for me. The next two-parter, The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances. It's got all the makings of things I like. It's a period piece. It's high stakes. You get the introduction of Jack, which is a great it's a phenomenal introduction. Rose flying through the battlefield in the hot air balloon, hanging on for dear life, separated from the doctor. The mystery of the empty child itself. Who is this child? The war orphans. This two-parter, can I tell you? For right now, these both go here. And I'm putting Dr. Dances just a little ahead because that payoff, God. You have a lot of lore that's dropped in here. An absolutely brilliant story. And like I had mentioned before, I love Unquiet Dead. And I think that the Dr. Dances and the Empty Child do the Unquiet Dead or something similar even better. Scary. Are you my mommy? Are you my mommy? Where's my mommy? And the Dr. Dances was just a really phenomenal ending to that. Brilliant two-parter. Boomtown. Okay, so in the beginning of Boomtown, where I'm thinking, oh great, the Slitheen again. Here we go. We've done this already. But it's the writing is on point because it does a great job of turning on your expectations. Margaret gets some really great character depth. And it's a nice character study on her. She gets quite the interesting ending, another chance, because she never had a chance. And I think this is one of those episodes where the writing really comes to the forefront and just shows how well written the show is as a whole. She has her villain plot. She has her plot. It's all changed on its head. The dinner scene in here. How could you not like that? Boomtown. I put here. And while it's right here, I just want to reiterate, it's an extremely well-written episode, a really fantastic one. This is all great. These are all great, but this is really good. That's really, really good. Bad Wolf. Okay, so here's kind of the payoff to the little hints of Bad Wolf we've been seeing throughout the episodes. And we return to the station from Long Game, but this time we're returning with a deeper purpose to unravel a deeper conspiracy. Something's changed here now. And I like how throughout this season, we've revisited previous plots, just like with Boomtown, revisiting the Slitheen. But when we revisit it, we give it more depth. We go a little further and a little deeper into it. So Bad Wolf, we of course are getting the revelation of who and what the Bad Wolf is. It starts off literally all fun and games. So we are put in different TV shows with The Weakest Link and Big Brother. We have a separation there. We get some cool side characters here. Just a really wonderful way to start off, once again, with something kind of unexpected, with fun and adventure. Dangerous fun and adventure. But then moving into the different scenarios and those deeper plots and conspiracies. Jack is on the TARDIS with them, and so he's involved. I love the robots there trying to give him the makeover and such, and that's really good. And obviously the ending. The return of the Daleks. I'll put Bad Wolf here in good. Here. There you go. That's where I want it. Because I think it is a good episode. It's a very good episode. But I think that I just really... I have to think about what... do I prefer to watch Bad Wolf or Unquiet Dead? I liked Unquiet Dead, so I put it ahead. That's how my mind is kind of going. I'm ranking them like that. And finally, we reach the ending. The parting of ways. The conclusion to the Bad Wolf arc. The conclusion to the Daleks, at least at this point in time. Chris does some of his best acting here, I think. Rose saving the day. A bit of a Deus Ex Machina, which isn't my kind of thing. Was it hinted at before? Sure, with the TARDIS being able to, read a person's soul and their mind, so to speak. I get it. Just for me, I felt it was a bit of an easy win for what seemed to be such an impossible situation. Also, I'm just saying, and I'm sorry, I had said it during the episodes and while we were watching, but I forgot that one Dalek had offed itself. I still think with all the things that were hinted at throughout in the episodes, at least in my mind, there could have been some sort of twist with Mickey being the Bad Wolf. But like, he wasn't just like, for lack of a word, the bumbling kind of friend. There could have been like something deeper to him. But that was just my theory. But this is the final battle. Jack dies and then he doesn't. Which you guys said he was featured in another show called Torchwood. So unfortunately, that I was kind of spoiled on that. I knew he wasn't going to die, or I didn't think he was going to die in that way. We get the kiss, which I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for at the end. And then, of course, Chris goes bye-bye and welcome David Tennant as the new Doctor. I think that's Parting of Ways is an episode with great stakes. Kind of an easy ending. I put Parting of Ways somewhere in here. Somewhere in here. I'm not quite sure where in here, but it goes somewhere in here. Dalek, Father's Day, Doctor Dances, Empty Child, Boomtown. And I love the beginning of Boomtown when all of the everyone's just like having a great time, just kind of chilling. Mickey, Rose, the Doctor, Jack. I love their foursome. The writing and the conversations I thought were really funny. Unquiet Dead. Parting of Ways. We could put Parting of Ways past here. Bad Wolf, Long Game, End of the World, Rose, World War III, Aliens of London. Can I tell you? I'm not mad at this list. I'm not mad at this list. I think that this, if I had to give a final ranking, this is my final ranking. This is my final ranking for Doctor Who Season 1. This is it. This is it. This is it. Dalek, The Doctor Dances, Father's Day, The Empty Child, Boomtown, The Parting of the Ways, The Unquiet Dead, Bad Wolf, The Long Game, The End of the World, Rose, World War III, and finally, Aliens of London. I feel good about this list. I feel good about this list. Your list may look completely different. Your list may look reverse, sideways, eastward, westward, northward, southward. Your list, you might look at my list and say, he put The Empty Child in front of The Parting of Ways. He put The Long Game and Bad Wolf under The Unquiet Dead. Yes, I did. Because I'm asking myself, which episode has the most impact on me? And would I rather watch the episode in front rather than the episode in behind it? And that's how it goes for me. Which one makes the most impact for me? And which would I rather watch again? Brilliant first season. Really, really brilliant first season. And truly hope that you guys enjoy the second season with me as we do that. As always, I appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I would love to hear your rankings in the comments, and I would love to read those. And thank you again for being here. I'll see you all later.